At the time of recording this video, it's the 26th of November. No Nut November is almost over, and most of you probably have failed. Like, yeah, I can kind of see that because that's where I was last year. Like, I failed so many times during the month, and it's like, I can't even count how many times that I lost and failed No Nut November. And a lot of you, after beating your meat and busting that nut, how did you feel? You probably felt pretty bad, right? You felt like a piece of shit. That post-nut clarity hit extra hard because we're in the month of No Nut November, right? We're aware that we shouldn't be doing this and that it's something bad for us, and the month just makes it so much worse. We dwell on this bad feeling of, oh, I can't do this, I'm gonna fail again, so what's the point? And you just go and beat your meat again, and it just ends up in an infinite loop of 1, you beat your meat, 2, post-nut clarity, and 3, you feel like shit and you beat your meat to get your mind off that feeling, and you just repeat the cycle over and over and over and over. But that's not the way you should actually go about it. You should see this failure as something you can learn from, something you can go off of, and something you can better yourself from. So here's how you can survive next No Nut November. The main reason why we fail No Nut November or repeat the cycle is we dwell on that shitty feeling of beating our meat. We dwell on that post-nut clarity. We dwell on those really negative feelings, and that's all we can focus around during the day. That's not how we should go about doing this. Yes, failing is bad. You don't want to fail. Nobody wants to. But these failures, they have a lesson attached to them. They have something that's more important than just at face value. It's more than just you losing. Each failure is something you can learn from. So that's what you have to do. After each time you've failed in November, you should look at yourself and say, why did I jerk off? What caused me and what urges caused me to go beat my meat? Because most of the times for me, what I noticed was when I was scrolling on social media, I would see one kind of like suggestive image of some girl, and what that led me to was getting that urge to beat my meat, and that ultimately led me to busting a nut and failing. So it's probably the same for you. You're on social media, you see all these really provocative images, these suggestive images of like nearly naked girls online, and you just get this urge. So the first step is to get yourself away from that cause. For most of you, it's gonna be social media. So I have a lot of other videos posted on social media, but the easiest way you can do this is just delete the apps. Delete the apps of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. Delete those apps because chances are those are what show those really suggestive images and lead you to that urge of beating your meat in the first place. Now the second step is to practice your awareness. A lot of the times when we're scrolling on social media, we're really mindless, right? We don't feel anything, we don't think of anything, and that's the same when we get the urge to jerk off. All we can think of is, oh, I need to beat it, but kind of take a step back from that urge and that thought of wanting to beat it, and just kind of like see it as it is. Don't act on it too quickly. Just kind of like get away from it. That's the second step you want to take. Be aware of any urges and anything that comes up that might make you want to go beat your meat, and just try and get yourself away from that. Because the concept behind this is, if all we focus on is that urge and thought of beating your meat, all you're gonna think of is beating your meat. And why would you want to do that when you're trying to get away from it? You're trying to not do it. If you don't think of it at all, and you can't even think of the concept of jerking off, well, you're not gonna be doing it, right? So you have to do that. So whenever you get an urge and you feel like you want to do it, just kind of like tell yourself, okay, let's get up, let's go do something, let's go for a walk. Well, let's like just get away from our computer, because I used to really sit at my computer and just try to fight the urge to like just say that to myself. But that never really worked out, because your willpower always has a limit, right? It's good to train your willpower every once in a while, and it's good to train your discipline to not do it. But if you really want to just get this thing out of your life and you don't want to jerk off anymore, you don't want to see porn, you don't want to do any of this anymore, you just want it out of your life, the easiest way to do it is to kind of like not even know its existence. Like, be unaware of it in reality. If you don't know if it exists, well, you're not going to do it. If you don't know that porn exists, you're not going to go on Pornhub. If you don't know jerking off exists, you're not going to beat your meat. If you don't know something exists, it's not going to happen. That's why ignorance is bliss. So to conclude, the first step you want to take, or chances are for a lot of you, you're getting the urge from social media. So delete any social media apps and try and stay off of social media as much as you can, because that's what leads you to actually wanting to be your meat. The second step, or the second layer of like protection against being your meat, is whenever you get the urge to do it, and whenever you feel like if you really want to just bust a nut, get up and do something else. Stay away from these screens, because it's only going to remind you of the urge. So that's about it, and do the shit that needs to be done. All right. Don't I remember is kind of a funny thing. Last year, I just kind of remember myself struggling so hard with it, and now I haven't like beat my meat in a good 5 months, which feels pretty damn good. So yeah, but it's kind of funny just looking back now. So you better be able to survive the next month of November. Use this shit wisely, all right? Okay. So that's about it.